Mehet is tovább itt a jaj, és ezt nem tudja eltenni. Még itt megszólnak. Gót, a vízilót kell megkeresni. Mitől lettem láthatatlan? Megőrülsz. Na mindegy, akkor menjünk később. Nekem ez zavar. Hipp az a há. Jó tudni. Hát nincsen, ami elteszi a fegyvert. Na, megdöglik itt megint a széndioxidtól.
Hey. Oh, leave that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that... Thank you. He's a scoundrel and a fiend, and I was wrong to ever think otherwise. 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter. He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. All right, but I'm leaving this city as soon as I can calm myself down. As soon as my assistant finishes packing my things, I'm taking the first tram to the spaceport. Not just dating, betrothed. And I have the engagement ring to prove it. It was supposed to be a romantic dinner, our last before we pledged our lives to each other. But an hour before, I decided to do some cleaning to calm my nerves. I picked up a pair of pants he left on the floor, and out falls a napkin from the Dawn's Roost with a number written on the back. To think he had the audacity to schedule a date with me at the same restaurant? I was livid! Still, I went to the date and held it together just long enough for the waiter to serve us, then I went off! No, there are some things in life that cannot be repaired. Cheating is his way of saying, I don't love you. And without love, what's the point?
Good day.
I'm furious. I've never felt... He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. I don't care. I'm not giving it to you.
Mennyi? 2, 4. Meg van 3 kör.
You're right. My stubbornness gets me in trouble far too often. I think my lawyer would disagree. Either way, if Octavio wants to take me to court, then so be it. Well, I don't want to get into a fight with UC security. Fine. I may be extremely agitated, but I want no part of a UC prison. Here.
That is convenient, but riding right after eating can give you stomach aches. Every time I see that statue, I feel a little bit more important. Can't really explain why, but I do.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite. Crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale. Ah, perfect. Did you manage to get the ring back? Excellent. I'm sure the victim will be pleased to know their property has been returned. You acquitted yourself well again. I dare say you might have a knack for police work. Here. Take this. It's well deserved.
Oh yeah, that's UC security. They're busier than normal these days, it seems.
Ever run into spacers?
It's good to be home, right? Okay. Scan me.
Elcsinálni egy mentést, a múltkor itt dobott ki az űrhajó szerkesztő akárminél.
You should inspect your ship.
Nagyobbat sem ez a kék balta, mint az izéké. Mik vannak? Mondjuk ez jól néz ki.
For heating and a couple landmarks.
Ja. Ezeket majd el kell pattintani. Hajóra. Miért itt vannak?
Their owners before decorating their ship with heat bleach there would be a nice touch.
Anything I can help you with? Okay, no problem.
Jesus. Jó, meket lehet itt ide pakolni. Hát itt őrülök meg mindjárt. Ez mi ez? Passenger slot. Bent a kutya. Aha, Így az egészet, nem? Hm? Hát ilyen emeletes lesz, emeletes hajó lesz. Oda csapok még egyet. Mi ez az egyenről? Az a szűrhajó, öcsém. Még fegyvert? Pajzsot! Tedd el, oda felcsapom. Három. Only one, grab die. Hol a másik? Invalid módú pozíció. Hát akkor ilyennel nem játszunk. Eltalálunk. Hoppá! A radiátor? Milyen radiátor? A bolondok vagytok? Remélem jó ezeknek.
Anything I can help you with, Captain?
Azért így még kicsit pofásabb lett a hajó, több minden fér bele. Remek.
You'll be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay.
Never mind.
Hiányolta. Pedig most nem voltam izébe. A harmadik személybe.
Be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay. No bounty. Clear.
Szerencsére ők még nem tudják, hogy ki vagyok.
I think I'm going to get my face removed today. I want to look like a completely different person. What's on your mind?
Itt is egy gyors menti.
Oh, I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Truly. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day. And yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening. That's a very reductive and borderline insulting way of looking at things. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it will become. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself, and some nearby portion of the city, to destruction. Now, as of yet, there has been no response. And clearly, none of the nearby individuals are a correct
Hogy
match.
kihallgatott ott a nő?
While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. Nice. Short-sighted and ill-advised, in my opinion. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years. I'm sorry, I'll get to the point. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch. I'm afraid I can't be two places at once, and I have too much going on here. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Hassler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
Jó, elküldezés a világ végére. Hát oda most nem fog neked menni ebbe az Aquila Citybe, mert oda nem tud ugrani. A naprendszerbe kell átmenni, hát bolondok ezek.
Collective and United Colonies authorities appear here.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
Hogy megijedt? Csúnyán néztem rá biztos.
I know your type. The freewheeling space ace. People joke. Say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake.
I have something for you.
Just here for a chat?
Ne zárjátok le az ajtót állandóan. Ez is a naprendszerben van. Ó. Megyek, Vanguard.
Oh, good grief. What'd she borrow?
A sample of a unique mineral that displays some lifelike quality. Been in a box for years. Not a big deal.
You look well.
She's a smart kid, Sam. A really smart kid. You're in trouble. You might want this.
Jó, hogy fogok majd mindig annyi gyalogolni.
Hey, you might want this. Have something for you.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Ezt hogy sikerült ugyanoda fast travelálni?
Okay, no bounty.
You didn't hear this from me?
I'm all ears.
Hey,
I
Sarah's
certainly
friend.
couldn't say no.
You come to enlist at long last? Start earning your stripes with the Vanguard? We're the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet. Any captain can join, regardless of origin. Get to fly your own ship and earn credits as you help the people in the most distant reaches of the United Colonies, all while earning your way to UC citizenship. Put in the time, and citizenship is guaranteed. Well, all right. Take the elevator down to the Vanguard Orientation Hall. You can get started at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Jaj, csak miért vetted el a izén?
Only those on official United Colonies business can access the building.
Grew up in Neon, so I get big cities. But one clean enough to eat off the pavement? That's new.
Befordultak a fal felé. Saját halaknak tekintenek.
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet.
Hát ez várható volt.
Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible.
Én azt hittem, hogy az én gépem zúgos közben, ez a kis takarító izé.
Colony ships touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
In that moment, humanity changed forever. Nothing else. They must have been scared out of their minds.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
Well, this is certainly an interpretation.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Janan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remained, however, select members of House Varun who refused to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space.
Ez most kiállítás.
Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped, the Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
Omitting the verifiable facts about a conflict only ensures a repeat performance.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
This thing's like an artist's rendition, right? No animal can be this ugly in real life.
No one knows how they move between planets. I wonder if they can grav jump or something.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph.
Van ez így.
A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
Article 13.
After the devastation wrought by the colony war, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
It was a scary time, to say the least. The Armistice was the only way we could survive, until the next terrifying weather.
Jesus Christ.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born.
Ezért jöttem ide.
Official branch of
Már
the
elfelejtettem.
Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies volunteer fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they
Nem ezt kelljen már előttem. Ez milyen menő.
citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls, means citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
Ez is nagyon menő, egy ilyen kellene. Pilot szimulátor. Na. Mielőtt itt jönnek a szimulátoros dolgok, egy mentés. Az mindig jól jön. Meg egy kis bioszünet.